Welp, I did it again. I bought a collection out of the back of some guy's car in a Target parking lot, and what started as a casual acquisition soon became a rescue mission. All the way back in episode 37, I took a chance on a mystery collection and had a blast working through it and telling you that story. Then in episode 43, something similar happened with the collection buyout from a garage sale. Well, I did it again. Among my weekly marketplace perusals, I found a listing for a collection of what looked like complete sets, mostly junk wax, but that's okay. $200 or best offer. There were 8 sets in the photos, plus 2 cans that I couldn't really identify, plus some random starting lineup figurines and a Braves 1996 World Series plaque. 8 sets for $200. That's $25 a set, assuming they're complete. And they were all sets that I didn't already have. What really caught my eye, though, and the reason I reached out to the guy in the first place, was the gold box. That is a 2001 50th anniversary set, which has the Ichiro rookie in it. This was promising. So I reached out to the guy, and we met in a Target parking lot. 5 of the sets were factory sealed, 3 were opened, and he ended up finding and bringing 3 albums of 88, 89, and 90 top sets that had been bindered way back in the day. The 91 set was open, but the Chipper Jones rookie was in there, and all looked tidy. The 1998 set was open too, but once I opened it, it was pretty severely bricked. Then I opened the 2001 set hopeful, and... bricked. Really bricked. The Ichiro rookie, if it was there, was fused in the middle of a 400-card block of baseball sadness. Since the 1998 and 2001 sets were essentially worthless, we agreed on $140 for the collection, including all 11 sets and the rest of the random bric-a-brac. This acquisition became a rescue mission. Can the bricked sets be saved? Can I extract the Ichiro rookie somehow, some way?
Somehow, someday.
My first step was assessment. I set aside the sealed sets and dug right into the 2001. The cards came out in huge chunks, and one really big chunk. There wasn't a single unbricked card. The smallest brick was about 5 cards, and the largest was about 300. The 1998 set wasn't as severely bricked and came out of the box in bricks of about 20 cards each. So I let the cards acclimate overnight, and after about 18 hours out of the box, the 98 set started to release, 1 card at a time. Over the course of many days, I would periodically check in on them, and one by one, the top card of each pile would release with no damage. If they weren't ready, like this, I'd let them sit a little bit longer. I let the cards control the pace. I was pretty sure I could bring the 1998 set fully back to mint. The 2001s were much more stubborn, however. After a week, barely 5 cards had released, and the large block wasn't softening even a little. I'm familiar with all the tricks, including putting cards in the freezer, the microwave, using steam, using heat, and the like. I wasn't interested in anything that might cause additional damage, so I went with just time and a little humidity. But that meant it was time to add some humidity. So I got some of our leftover containers that have tightly sealing lids, and I locked some of the bricks in there with a shot glass of warm water. A makeshift humidor. And little by little, the cards began to release. It was slow going, but at least I had a method that worked. About 2/3 of the cards were releasing with no damage at all, like Mike Hargrove here. About 1/3 of the cards had the typical white speckling that is all too common with the 2001 set. Here's the meager progress I had made after a week. But it was progress. Very slowly, as the cards allowed, I would gently pull and pry, and they released. this particular brick was fused only at the very edge, and so they released with no damage at all. With every card, I was hopeful and terrified that the next card would be the Ichiro rookie, but it remained hidden, frozen, in a lonely block of carbonite. So I turned my attention back to the 98 set, and after long last, the Roy Halladay rookie finally appeared, and thankfully, without damage. That was a huge win, and the next day, the David Ortiz rookie appeared, also without damage. Given these successes, I felt that with time, there was still hope for the Ichiro. About halfway through the 2001s, the CC Sabathia rookie popped out, unscathed and in beautiful condition, but still no Ichiro. After more than a week of patient doting, the 98 top set was fully unbricked and in fully mint condition with not a single damaged card. It took a lot of love and even more patience, but I was able to save this set of cards from the garbage pile of neglected history. With renewed vigor, I got to work and put the cards in numerical order and verified that the set was indeed complete. And it was. All the bonus cards were in there too, including 4 cards with the minted in Cooperstown logo on them and 2 unnumbered checklists. I dutifully placed the cards back in their box, placing the Halladay and Ortiz rookies in protective sleeves. One set rescued. The 01s were still giving me fits, so I upped the humidity and began each humidor session with boiling water so there was some hot steam. After a few hours, the cards would absorb all the moisture, and I could repeat. The guy said that these cards were in his parents' attic, and yeah, that tracks. Wherever they were for the last 20 years, it was definitely hot and definitely dry. In the meantime, I got to work on the 91 set. No bricking here, as the 91s predate the shiny coatings later slathered all over sports cards. I put the cards in order, checking for missing cards, and assumed all was fine, given the 1998 set checked out. But I was wrong. The 91 set was randomly missing 3 commons. Now I needed some boxes anyway to de-album the 88, 89, and 90 sets, so I ran up to my LCS for some 800 count boxes and 3 91 Topps commons: Steve Buscemi, Marquise Grissom, and Chris Bozio. My LCS gave me the cards for free since I bought a few 800 count boxes. These cards have no real value anyway, outside of the complete sets. Giving me penny cards for free keeps me going back to get other things. It's a good shop. Sliding these last 3 cards into place, I had a complete 1991 top set, all present and accounted for in numerical order, ready to go into the collection. I used to have a near-complete, hand-collated 91 set, but ended up selling it long ago with a bunch of other bulk. That set was all pack-pulled from my childhood and was missing, about 50 commons or so. The thing is, those 50 commons are worthless, right? Unless you need them, and then they're $1 each online, or 3 for $1 at your LCS. Even at 3 for $1, it would cost me probably $20 to have completed that set. That would be worth, about $20 upon completion. So I never really had the motivation to finish it, which is why I sold them. But now I have a complete set, and in the era-correct box as well. The 89 set, along with the 88 and 90, were in old beat-up binders. Some of the pages even had evidence of mouse nibbling or some other pest. I have these sets already, so my goal here is to get them out of the crummy binders, verify their completeness, verify that the cards are in good health, and then sell them as whole sets. The 89 cards looked as if they were taken directly out of the box and put into a binder, all in tip-top shape. So the sorting began, and into the box they went in numerical order. I sleeved the Hall of Fame rookies of Randy Johnson, John Smoltz, and Craig Biggio, and left them on top to help the buyers know the good cards are still with the set. Then I did the same with the 90 set, first separating the cards into piles corresponding to their card numbers, 100s, 200s, 300s, etc., and then each of those piles into groups of 10, 110s, 120s, 130s, and then into the box in numerical order. I pulled the Frank Thomas rookie, the Larry Walker rookie, and the Griffey Rookie Cup card to sleeve, and they'll go on top for maximum protection. The 1988 set had fared the worst and had the most rodent damage. The cards were mostly fine, but so many of the pages had these little bite marks out of them. As I was sorting, I noticed that this set had a lot of rough-cut cards. The 89 and 90 sets were crispy mint, and well centered, but this 88 set was a bit, well, rough around the edges, quite literally. But I soldiered on and got the 88 set squared away. I pulled the Glavin rookie, the Maguire Rookie All-Star Cup card, and the Maddox second-year card, and sleeved them to go on top. With those sets complete, I could throw them up on Marketplace in search of a buyer, and I'm certain that one will come. That meant that I could turn my attention back to the 2001 set, which had been chilling in slightly higher than room humidity for about 2 weeks. I had more than half of the set freed up. The cards on the right were all mint. The cards on the left were all mildly damaged with little white speckles. The largest brick of cards finally broke into 2 pieces and was showing signs of softening. See that? That little bit of motion meant there was still hope. So I let the bricks go another couple days. The Ichiro was in one of those 2 bricks. Later that week, I checked on the bricks, which began to break apart, and a group of 3 cards broke off the bottom of one of the new hunks. As careful as I could, I peeked at the card number, and there it was, card 726, the Ichiro rookie. Unfortunately, I could see white speckling around the card number, so I already knew it wasn't coming out of there in gem mint condition. Just by the slow release of time, the corners had some damage. Funny enough, that really kind of relaxed me, as perfection wasn't an option anymore. But all wasn't lost. I can do this. Careful. Gently. 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 And there it goes. The back was nice, but for the light speckling around the edge. Now I need to get the Coomer card off here, but hoo boy, it was stuck on there something fierce. So I set it back in the makeshift humidor for another day, but to no avail. The Coomer card was absolutely fused to the front of the Ichiro. My luck had run out. But drastic times call for drastic measures. Give me a knife. As I slid the blade in, I could feel that the face of the card wasn't fused. It was only the corners. Now this is a very thin, very sharp blade, and I just snuck the tip into the corner and with practically no pressure, let the slight wedge of the blade do the work. This was harrowing. Slowly, gently, and release. There it is, the Ichiro rookie. I took a microfiber and wiped down the card, removing as much of the functified UV coating that I could get off. Again, the card already had some slight speckling, so I wasn't worried about catastrophic damage. This could only improve things. After a proper wipe down, a penny sleeve and a top loader, here it is, my rescued Ichiro rookie. This card began in the middle of this brick, cooked by 20 years in a hot attic. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And most importantly, it's mine. And anytime I break it out, I'll have a heck of a story to tell about how I obtained it, and the video evidence to prove it. With the Ichiro rookie extracted, I was a little less gentle with the rest of the brick, which came apart over the next few days. Nearly all the remaining cards suffered mildly from the white speckled damage. In the end, I was able to separate every card from the set. About 75% of the set is mint, and 25% has damage from the bricking. But 100% of the set can now be enjoyed, including Mr. Ichiro and Mr. Sabathia. Part of the problem, apart from the hot attic, is that this box is really too small for the set. After days and days of humidity, the cards had absolutely no chance of going back into the box without absolutely smashing them together, which would make them stick again. This whole stack of cards won't fit. So I'll let the cards acclimate back to general humidity levels over the next few weeks, and slowly add the remaining cards back into the box as they allow. The 98 and 2001 sets, which I assumed were a total loss, were rescued from the brink, and can live out their days in the caring comfort of my collection, along with the rest of their baseball card buddies. But this collection has so many more stories to tell. I thought about leaving the sealed sets sealed, but I changed my mind when I was picking apart the 2001 set. If the rest of these sets were damaged because of the heat in which they were stored, I could still save them. If I keep them sealed after another 10 or 20 years, they might be gone for good. The longer they rot in there, the more likely they'd be toast. Plus, they're my frickin' cards now, and I want to see them. Another update on this purchase is that I sold the 88, 89, and 90 sets that I rescued, $50 for all three. I spent $10 on boxes, so that was $40 net back to me, bringing the purchase price of all of these cards down to $100. The 91 set from last week was missing 3 cards, but with it now squared away, I can turn my attention to the rest of the boxes, beginning with the 1992 Topps set. This was the first set to include Topps gold inserts. The big rookies from 92 were Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, and Ivan Rodriguez, so a Topps gold of one of these 3 would be an ideal hit. Off comes the wrapper, and crap. I hate that. The bottom of the box isn't flat, so the cards don't lay flat across, and I must have order in my life. So that'll be on my list of things to fix before the cards go back in. These cards are in crispy mint condition. Color is great, centering is great, no signs of damage from the hot attic. The gold inserts are all together, so let's see who we've got. Common. Ruben Sierra All-Star, but he's just another common. Common. Never was common. Hey, Charlie Hayes. Common. And common. Okay, that didn't pan out, but that's okay. The gold Charlie Hayes will go into my team set for sure, and there are still 3 great rookies in here somewhere. Onward. First up was the rookie card of Manny Ramirez, and an absolute beauty. Dead-centered, flawless edges and corners, flawless surface. I'd give this an easy 10. But no doubt if I sent it to PSA, it would come back a 4, and that's why I don't grade cards. Manny Ramirez is one of the great pure hitters of all time, but like the rest of the schmucks from his era, he of course got mixed up with the steroids, and so likely never gets into the Hall of Fame. Still a cool card though. Moving on, we're still on the lookout for the Thome or the Pudge, and I stumbled across a Chipper Jones prospect card. His rookie is from 1991, and he has prospect cards in 92, 93, and 94, so this one isn't that special. Jim Thome or Pudge? Jim Thome or Pudge? Whoop, there's Jim Thome, one of the few members of the 600 Home Run Club. And wait, what's that? Aw, man. There's a print defect on the bottom edge. The card is otherwise perfect. But that print mark means we aren't in 10 territory anymore. 9 with a qualifier at best. Nothing to be done here but take the loss. There's still Pudge though. I zoomed through and, Where's Pudge? Did I miss him? Don't tell me a Hall of Fame rookie is missing from this set. I actually went back and reviewed the footage. And as it turns out, I just passed him. Right there. Dope! So knowing where he was in the stack, here he is. Ivan Rodriguez was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2016. This card is beautiful, but just a touch off-center, left to right. 9. Of course, of the 3 best cards in the set, the only 10 is the one that's not in the Hall of Fame. Just my luck. The next step is organization. First, I need to fix the box bottom so the cards will lay flat. So I cut out an insert using acid-free cardboard, and with the order restored, we can number the cards and get them back in the box. With the 3 big rookies in sleeves, we can call this set complete. On to the 93s. The big rookie in 93 was, of course, Derek Jeter, and while his SP card is more coveted, the 93 Topps Gold still has some swagger in the collecting world. Also, 1993 premiered the Topps Black Gold inserts, and these complete sets had 1994 pre-production cards in them too. This box has the uneven bottom too. Upon first inspection, these cards were unscathed from the attic heat. There's Big Mac, about as big of a star as there was in 93. There's Nolan Ryan, looking good at card number 700. There's the Mike Piazza Prospects card, another knucklehead whose steroid use is keeping him out of Cooperstown. And there's the pack of Topps Gold inserts, but we'll save them until I find the Jeter rookie. There's Griffey, card number 1 of this set. Whoop! I'd know that green card anywhere. And there's the Jeter rookie. It's in nice shape, but a touch off center. I have 3 of these already, and one of which is a dead 10, perfectly centered and gorgeous in every way. This one just doesn't have the centering for 10 status these days. That's a shame. Having found the Jeter, let's see what gold cards are here. Okay, common. Tom Marsh, okay, he'll go into my 93 Topps Gold team set. I don't have him already in the gold. Common, black gold Andy Van Slyke, who used to be a star and now is pretty much lost to history. Black gold Barry Bonds, okay, that's a solid $2 card. This pack was a winner of the complete black gold set, although the redemption is 32 years past the expiration date. Pudge second year card, not bad for a Topps Gold, and a solid $1 card. And I know that green. Is it? Boom! It is 1993 Topps Gold Derek Jeter rookie. That just made all of this worth it. Amazing to pull this card after all these years. We'll just set the others aside for now. As incredible as it looks, to my eyes it is a touch off-center left to right, and a little off-center up and down. So I don't think it's a 10 contender. Ungraded, these cards sell regularly in the $20 to $40 range, so I've effectively doubled the set's value. A 10 can fetch over $1,000, but I just don't think the centering on this one would get a 10. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What's the grade of this Topps Gold Jeter? Working through the rest of the cards, and there were still the 1994 pre-production cards, and 94 was the first year of the shiny UV coating, and they're bricked. Thankfully, I've had a lot of experience with bricked cards lately, and these felt pliable, so I took the risk to just separate them. This Nolan Ryan is a very rare card, as his proper 94 card was much different, and there's actually 2 1994 pre-production Nolan Ryans. The vertical card, which ended up being the actual 94 card, and this horizontal card, which was cut out. Nolan Ryan collectors pay up when they appear, especially in this good a condition. Moving on, there's the George Brett, Barry Bonds, and these are good cards. There's Boggs, Kenny Lofton, I think he probably gets into Cooperstown eventually, Matt Williams, and Juan Gonzalez. That Ryan only has a pop of about 200, so these are much rarer cards than their regular set counterparts. Fun stuff. Time to sort. In sorting a set, I get to touch every card, which I love. Here's the second of the 3 Chipper Jones Prospects cards, in this goofy Angels card with Russian Cyrillic on the front. I even found a Darren Dalton All-Star card that I didn't have in my team set. Every time I think I have them all, I find some random card that I don't have. So now I need that card, but I can't break up this set for that one card, so I'll have to find it at a show or at my LCS. And besides Jeter, the other big Hall of Fame rookie in this set is Trevor Hoffman, a Hall of Fame inductee. He's currently second on the all-time saves list with 601. Cards in order, and notice I made another box insert to fit the bottom so the cards all lay flat, and into the box they go. Set complete. Riding high on the back of the gold Jeter rookie, I tore into the 94 box. Here are some special edition inserts, some pre-production 1995 cards, and the pack of gold cards and black gold cards. On first glance, things kind of seemed okay, but I took the cards out, and my excitement stopped dead by more bloody bricking. I can save these cards, though, and I must at this point. I've broken the seal, so now I am responsible for their health and well-being. They came out of the box in clumps of 10 and 20 cards each, but they were soft enough that with care and with time they could be peeled off one at a time without damage. There are more than 700 cards in this set, so this is going to take a while. So I poured a beer, put on a ball game, and got to it. Everything you see here is a little bricked pile. Let's open the inserts. Yeah, and they're bricked too. The big rookie of 1994 is Billy Wagner, who was just elected to the Hall of Fame this year on his last year of eligibility. Okay, here we go. Common, 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 common. Uh-oh. Nah, wrong draft pick card. We wanted the Wagner. Phillies coming attractions. I don't have this one in gold, so that's kind of okay. This is the wrong Pedro Martinez. And Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. Not a terribly good haul. One last set of inserts were the 1995 pre-production cards, including a slick Griffey Jr. and Larry Walker. This amazing image of Sadie Alomar, too. And lastly, a Topps finest of Bobby Bonilla, who is still on the Mets payroll. I got to separating each card from their bricks, and the Chipper Jones prospect card popped out, a fun card which he shared with Ryan Klesko. This was slow going, carefully separating each card, sorting them, numbering them, and it seemed like it would never end. So I took it a little bit each day, knowing these cards needed to be loved. Jeter's 1994 prospect card popped out, another oddity of the set, and card 715 to honor what was then the 20th anniversary of Hank Aaron's breaking the home run record. This was a 10 contender. I still hadn't found the Billy Wagner rookie, though. And there he is. One of the last bricks to separate. Card 209. He had a stop in Philadelphia for 2 years, so I count him amongst my own. Eventually, I got them all separated, and not a single damaged card. I ordered them by number, and into the box they went. With the Wagner rookie and the Jeter prospect card sleeved and on top, we can call this set complete. Knowing that this collection spent many years in a hot attic, I made the decision to open all of the sealed sets and preserve them best I can. So I pressed on and opened this 1995 Topps set, which was bricked. It really wasn't that bad, though, and not nearly as bad as this era of cards can get. Many, many little 20-card bricks came out of the box, which meant I needed to spread them out to maximize the amount of humidity in the air that could get to the cards to start the softening process. I didn't know about this little patriotic subset from 1995, so that was a nice little surprise. All unboxed, I began the slow process of separation. In doing so, I get to touch every card, which I love, and in this instance, I realized that the 1995 Topps set is really quite stupid. This was the set issued just after the big strike of '94. Fandom was at an all-time low. The junk wax era was collapsing all around the collecting world, and Topps made some really odd choices. Like Henry Rodriguez here as card number 400. You all know that even 100 card numbers are almost always reserved for the biggest stars. But in 1995, they went to no-names, like Tim Salmon here was card 200. Who? Exactly. But there were other surprises too, like this Prospects card number 237 with Phillies players Shane Pullen on it that I didn't already have in my team set. Add that to the list of humility that proves my team sets will never be complete. And how about card number 600, which was wasted on Yorkis Perez, a 12-year career minor leaguer with exactly 3 games played in the show. Yeesh. Sorting and numbering the cards, I also noticed that there is a high preponderance of staged portraits in this series, as the strike in the previous year prevented the capture of action shots for a lot of these players. One of the only redeeming features of this set was the opening day inserts, one of which is a Ken Griffey Jr., one of the only cards in this box worth anything. And even then, it's only a few bucks. There aren't any Hall of Fame rookies from 1995. Carefully unbricked and numbered. Back into the box they went with the Griffey insert sleeved, just in case. We'll call this set complete. On to the 2000 set, which retailed for $44.99 apparently. Nearly half of what I paid for the entire collection. At this point, I was fully expecting bricking, and when I popped open this set, yep, bricked. More triage was in order. Step 1, lay them all out to let the humidity in the air get to the surface of the cards for the first time in 25 years. On a whole, this is another pretty weak set. No Hall of Fame rookies, the inserts aren't that interesting or desirable, and it's a pretty small set overall, too. One unique and fun tidbit is that while unbricking the set, I was watching the Phillies play the Cardinals when this little moment of serendipity happened.
Love these one-pitch outs. We had Topper today. Everybody's able to go in the bullpen. So yeah, I think we got a full bullpen. He goes, what I really want is Zach to go 9. Right.
I peeled off the card of Ben Davis, who now serves as the Phillies' color man for away games, and I came across this card as he was doing his best to be half as interesting as John Kruk, who does the home games. Another quirk was this card of Bartolo Colon, or at least half of Bartolo Colon. This dude got so fat in his later years, it's hard to remember he was once an athlete. More painstaking unbricking, and the prospect card of CC Sabathia revealed itself. Sabathia appeared in the 1999 Topps Traded set, so this isn't an official rookie, and he got another prospect card in 2001, which you can see in the first video of this trilogy. But this is still a Hall of Fame prospect card, so I will sleeve it for future protection. And I stumbled upon this gem, the Neepoiest Neepo baby card of all time. And then Octavio Dotel, who just died in a nightclub roof collapse in the Dominican Republic. This card will likely reappear on my 2025 In Memoriam video this December. Rest in power, King. Cards numbered and boxed, with the Sabathia card sleeved, this set is complete. That meant I had to face the 2003 set.
Spirit, I fear you more than any spectre I have yet met.
The dark blue borders of 2003 are equally, if not more susceptible to damage than the green borders of 2001. That set was FUBAR, and this set I feared would suffer the same fate. But maybe I was wrong? The seal having stayed on, the humidity fluctuations probably weren't as great in the hot attic, and the bricking here was mild, much more akin to the other sets in this collection. The cards were all in little bricks of 15 or so cards. These can be saved, and likely without damage. By now I had a process. Spread out all the bricks to maximize surface area, and then let them chill for a day to acclimate. Patience is key. Then start slowly unbricking the cards. Some surprises along the way included this card of Il Kim, a card from 2003 weirdly missing from my team set. He never was actually on the team. This is a phantom card. Signed out of Korea, he played in Summer League and Single A ball only, which is why, I'd never heard of him. Add that card to the team set list. Cliff Lee's rookie was not too far away from Kim's. Lee was a great pitcher, but not quite Hall of Fame material. He had a 5-year stint in Philly and was wildly popular while there. Flash Gordon's card had a wild print error that I'd never seen before, a kind of ink blot that looked like little cherub wings almost. And Adam Hudzu, who spent 12 years in the minors before getting called up. Good for him for sticking with it. The bricking in this set was pretty severe, and these cards needed time. This set took almost a week of patient check-ins. Every few hours I would stop by the cards and see if the top cards in the piles were ready to release, and slowly they did. This wait-and-see method was pretty effective. This pile had 4 cards release off the top after a few days. The cards knew when they were ready. Joe Mauer's prospect card is here, although his generally accepted rookie is from 2002. I'll sleeve this one anyway. And Chase Utley, whose Hall of Fame votes have been creeping up. He's got a good chance at Cooperstown in the coming years, so I'll sleeve this one too, just in case. All released, ready to number, and into the box they go. The 91 set from this collection was missing 3 cards. This set had an extra card, number 703. Quality control at Topps is an ongoing concern. All tidy here. Set complete. That left only this can. It's a 1998 Pacific Trading Cards Home Run Hero set. I had never heard of these guys before. The first encounter for me. eBay told me that the cans can sell for about $10 while still sealed, and each card inside is about $2 each, except for the Griffey, which is $3. With 6 cards in there, that means that the cards individually are worth more than the sealed can. So let's rip it open. I opened everything else, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to open a can of cards. But first, this feels weird, yet here we are. That plastic isn't going to rip cleanly, so let's just bring in the BFK. And there we go. Yep, as advertised, 6 cards, exactly as pictured on the tin. That was anticlimactic, like a roller coaster that really sucks after waiting in line for 2 hours. In any case, that completes the collection. Was it worth it? Well, yeah. I rescued 11 complete sets of baseball cards out of somebody's parents' hot attic and paid $140 for the privilege of doing so. The 1998 and 2001 sets were opened and bricked, so as they stood, they had no value. The 6 sealed sets were $20 each, and the last $20 was for the 3 albums of 88, 89, and 90 sets. The rest of the bric-a-brac just came along for the journey. I de-albumed the 88 through 90 sets, numbered and boxed them, and since I had them already, I decided to resell them along to someone else to enjoy. $50 for the 3. After the cost of the boxes to do so, I made back $40, which left me at $100 for 8 sets, 2 of which were junk. Slowly over several weeks, I was able to unbrick all the sets, and 7 of the 8 sets came back to full mint condition. The 2001 had about 100 damaged cards, including, sadly, the Ichiro rookie. But that I was able to extract the Ichiro rookie at all, even slightly damaged that it was, breathed some life back into those cards. Just in terms of dollars, I paid fairly to acquire the collection and was able to extract some value back for myself through the work of card restoration. 8 sets to add to my collection at a total cost of $12.50 per set. All of those sets would likely sell for more than that now, but only because of the work that I added. But here's the kicker. I enjoyed it. It's entertainment. I find it relaxing, almost like meditation. Plus, I got to make 3 videos about it for the channel, another bonus. To put things in perspective, I took my kid to see the Minecraft movie in IMAX on opening weekend. The tickets for me, my wife, and my son were a touch north of $65 for less than 2 hours of entertainment. This collection cost me more than that, but I got hours and hours of fun out of it. And through these videos, we'll continue to give enjoyment out in perpetuity. Plus, I get to keep the cards and enjoy them for years. I just don't think you can put a price on that value, even if some unscrupulous dealers really try to do so. Thanks for watching. Help support the channel with the purchase of custom-designed card box dividers, completely bespoke to your specification and collecting tastes. Send an email to philliesbaseballcards@gmail.com, and let's talk about making your collection truly yours.